Good day, dear students. Welcome to JSS 1 Music, Week 4. Nigeria is home to over 250 ethnic groups, and each group has developed its own unique musical instruments over thousands of years. These instruments are not relics of the past, they are living, vibrant tools of communication, celebration, worship, and governance. Many of the world's most celebrated music forms, including jazz, funk, and Afrobeats, trace their rhythmic roots to West African traditional instruments. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to classify Nigerian traditional instruments into their 5 families, name and describe at least 10 specific instruments, explain the cultural and social functions of these instruments, and identify which ethnic group uses which instrument. Let us celebrate Nigeria's extraordinary musical heritage. Musical instruments are classified into 5 main families based on how they produce sound. This classification system is called the Humber-Stelzach system, named after 2 musicologists who studied world instruments in the early 20th century. The 5 families are idiophones, instruments where the body of the instrument itself vibrates to produce sound; membranophones, instruments where a stretched membrane or skin is struck or rubbed to produce sound; chordiphones, instruments where stretched strings vibrate to produce sound; aerophones, instruments where a column of air is made to vibrate; and electrophones, instruments that produce sound electronically. This is the modern 5th category added later. Nigerian traditional instruments span the first 4 categories. Let us study each family with Nigerian examples. Family 1, idiophones. In idiophones, the whole instrument vibrates. The shakir is a large dried gourd covered with a net of beads or seeds. When shaken or struck, the beads rattle against the gourd. It is used across Yoruba musical traditions, in juju music, and in sacred Ifo ceremonies. The shakir is also found in Cuban and Brazilian music, brought by Yoruba enslaved people during the transatlantic slave trade. The ago-ago is a metal bell or set of bells struck with a metal rod. It provides a high, piercing rhythmic pattern in Yoruba music, particularly in juju and Fuji music. The ago-ago gives a contrasting timbre to the deeper drums. The slit drum, called ekoro among the Igbo and gongon or apinti in other traditions, is a wooden drum with a slit cut into it. When struck with a wooden beater, it produces 2 different pitches depending on where it is struck. Igbo communities use the ekoro to send messages across long distances. The different pitches convey different words. Family 2, membranophones. These are instruments with a skin or membrane stretched across a frame. The dondon, also called the talking drum, is the most famous of all Nigerian instruments internationally. It is an hourglass-shaped drum with 2 skin heads connected by leather tongues. By squeezing the tongues under one arm while beating the head with a curved stick, the player changes the tension of the skins and thus the pitch of the drum. The dondon is used by the Yoruba to mimic the tonal language. It literally talks in Yoruba. Expert dondon players can transmit complex messages, praise names, and proverbs. It is the central instrument of Yoruba dondon music ensembles. The bata drum is a set of 3 double-headed drums of different sizes: aya ilu, mother drum, omoli ekeo, and omoli ebio. The bata is sacred to Sango, the Yoruba deity of thunder, and is used in Yoruba religious ceremonies. Bata drumming requires years of specialist training. The gongon is a smaller version of the talking drum used in Yoruba music. The kolango is a talking drum of the Hausa people in northern Nigeria. Similar in principle to the dondon, it is played under the arm and struck with a hook-shaped stick called a tarsha. The udu is a clay pot drum used by the Igbo people of southeastern Nigeria. Air is trapped inside and the player strikes the pot's mouth and sides to produce resonant bass tones. The udu has been adopted by contemporary world music composers internationally. Family 3, chordiphones. These are string instruments. The goj is a 1-string fiddle played with a bow. It is used by the Hausa and Fulani peoples of northern Nigeria in praise singing, performed by professional musicians called Moroccowa. The goj is struck or bowed to produce a reedy, nasal tone and is used to accompany oral poetry and panegyric. The molo is a plucked lute with a skin-covered body and 2 or 3 strings. It is used in northern Nigerian music traditions. Family 4, aerophones. These are wind instruments. The kokoki is a royal trumpet, a long, narrow metal trumpet used in the courts of Hausa emirs and the Sokoto Caliphate. It can be over 2 meters long and is blown only at royal ceremonies to announce the presence of the emir or sultan. The sound is deep, resonant, and majestic. The oja is an Igbo flute, a side-blown instrument made from bamboo or metal. It is used in Igbo masquerade ceremonies and traditional dances. Different ojo pitches are associated with different masquerades and carry specific meanings in Igbo communities. Let us complete a classification exercise. Classify each instrument into its correct family. Shakir, gourd covered with bead net, struck or shaken, idiophone. Don, hourglass drum with 2 skins, membranophone. Goj, 1-string fiddle with bow, cordophone. Kokoki, long metal trumpet, aerophone. Ego, metal bell struck with rod, idiophone. Bata, set of 3 double-headed drums, membranophone. Oja, bamboo side-blown flute, aerophone. Udu, clay pot struck at the mouth, membranophone. Note, the udu may also be classified as an idiophone in some systems, as the pot body vibrates, but the primary sound mechanism is air within the chamber, making it primarily a membranophone or an idiophone with aerophonic elements. In BECE examinations, classify udu as a membranophone. 3 important points. Mistake 1, calling all drums membranophones, the slit drum and udu behave differently. The slit drum is an idiophone. The udu is classified as a membranophone for examination purposes. Mistake 2, saying the don is only decorative. It is a sophisticated communication tool that conveys messages, praise poetry, and royal greetings in Yoruba society. Mistake 3, limiting Nigerian instruments to only 1 or 2 examples. Nigeria has hundreds of traditional instruments. Knowing at least 10 with their ethnic groups and classifications will give you excellent marks. Well done today. Nigerian traditional instruments fall into 4 families. Idiophones, Shakir, Yoruba, Ago, Yoruba, slit drum / Ekoro, Igbo. Membranophones, Don, Yoruba, Bata, Yoruba, Kolango, Hausa, Udu, Igbo. Codiphones, Goj, Hausa / Fulani, Molo, Northern Nigeria. Aerophones, Kokoki, Hausa, Royal, Ojo, Igbo. Remember, idiophones vibrate themselves, membranophones use a skin, codiphones use strings, aerophones use air. Nigeria's musical heritage is extraordinary. These instruments carry the voices, histories, and souls of our people. For homework, draw and label any 3 Nigerian traditional instruments, stating their family classification and ethnic group of origin.